Hello friends, very wonderful that you're joining in for another session. Again, a little talk followed by just a short meditation session, a little bit of breathing as well, but this will help you to get a better understanding really of all the things that I'm talking about. Otherwise it's just theory, and you know, theory is not much use if you don't put it into practice, right? As the saying goes, one gram of actual practice is worth as much as 1,000 kilograms of theory, right? Because it's through implementing all these ideas into your own life and really getting an understanding on them, then it becomes useful. Otherwise, you're just filling up your mind with more theories. And some of you maybe read a lot of books and watch a lot of videos, which is of course also wonderful. But sometimes you're just filling up more and more with theory, and you're actually kind of distancing yourself from reality by doing that. Because it becomes more mind. You're training yourself to think and not to feel and experience. It has to go hand in hand, the theory and the practice, right? So in this week's session, I will be talking a bit about dealing with illness and pain. And now, these are two facts of life. There are some facts of life that no human being can escape. That is death, and that is that people around you will also see suffer and will get sick. Maybe yourself will get sick also one day. And death and suffering is kind of integrated in this whole experience of life. Birth is a very wonderful, beautiful thing, but it already in a way starts with pain, starts with suffering. It is completely integrated into this life experience. However, as human beings, we are so trained and we grow up in a way so much that we always at all costs try to avoid suffering, try to avoid pain, right? And what actually happens, the more we try to avoid it, the more we run away from it, the more we're actually creating suffering. And let me try to explain you how that works. So there is a wonderful, wonderful art that we, if we can learn it in life, makes our life experience so much better. And that is the art of suffering. Being able to suffer. Because when you're able to suffer some things in life, when you're opening up, you stop resisting, you stop running away. And what happens when we resist sometimes, then the real suffering starts. So there is a certain pain, maybe of a certain experience you had in the past, or a worry about the future, or something that happens in the moment, and you are trying to resolve it, trying to resist it, trying to push it away. So you feel a certain painful emotion coming up, or a certain painful feeling, a certain painful thought, and you try to maybe first ignore it. When it doesn't work, you try to distract yourself by doing something else. And sometimes it goes even so far that people would take certain drugs, even medical drugs, like painkillers and all these things, or certain alcohol or things like that, just to ignore the pain, to not feel the pain. But what happens, the pain is still there, the pain keeps coming up. What happens if somebody learns to suffer, learns the art of suffering, and is able to feel that certain emotion which bugs them, or that certain worry, or that part of this life experience, the fear of death or the fear of not being recognized? When one becomes able to feel it and recognize, like, I'm a human being, I have all these emotions, it is integrated in my whole system to also experience fear and pain and all these things. When you become able to feel it, you liberate yourself completely from the suffering that the resisting of the certain emotion or pain brings. Being able to feel pain with acceptance, with openness, with kindness, it will bring growth. Resisting pain will bring suffering. When you resist things feelings, emotions in your life, situations in your life, when you resist them, you will just create more friction, more suffering. You will not be dancing with life smoothly, flowing with life, though you will be struggling with life, fighting with people, fighting with your own emotions, with your own mind. So it brings such a liberation when you can sometimes suffer yourself a little bit, suffer the feelings that you have. And in a way, this is also how we can free ourselves from these imprints of negative feelings, ideas, negative thoughts or experience that we've had in the past that have accumulated in our mind, in our emotional system, into our nervous system, and we can free ourselves from that. This is a bit of a deep topic, but it's very important, because otherwise you can constantly try to fix your past, fix your future, fix yourself, but the source, the essence of the problem remains. There is a fact of this life that every action that you perform, every thought that you have, everything you say, everything you do, everything you choose has a certain impact on your energetic system, has a certain impact on your mind, all these thoughts, it's a flow of energy, all these emotions and your memory. Now, this, you could say, is like karma, right? So you do something not so nice. After that you feel ashamed, you don't feel so good about yourself, you don't trust other people so much anymore. And what you do then is, with that negative imprint in yourself, that negative karma, you start to maybe make also different decisions. Instead of really feeling good about yourself and you think, well, I deserve this because I'm a good person, or I can go through life as a good person because I feel good about myself. Or you feel, well, actually I'm not so good of a person, I'm a bit bad, I feel ashamed, and you start to create all that negative ideas about yourself and life, and you start to make different choices in your life. And also, in a way, you start to attract different things in your life, because your state of emotion, your state of heart will, like a magnet, attract the state it is in. So if you feel good, if you're like shining with kindness, with goodness, it's like other people see that and they think, hey, that's a nice person, I feel maybe I want to help that person, or something like that. Or if you go through life and you feel really negative and everything starts to frown, everything starts to contract, and you just don't send out a good vibe, you won't attract good things in your life also. So try to think for it yourself a little bit also about these things, that how everything that you do has a certain imprint on your whole state of being. It even reflects back in your body by getting tensions in your body and all these things, but also in the choices that you make. So if you want to free yourself from these negative imprints, how to do this, right? Well, you also have to be able, the word is suffering yourself. To have patience originally means to, in Latin, to suffer yourself, to be able to be with yourself and you have to suffer maybe a little bit if you sit for meditation and you feel a bit of shame coming up and a little bit of anger coming up and all these states of negative states that you have accumulated in your life. You have to be able to feel it, to shine the light of awareness on it, and with kindness, not resisting, not pushing it back, but with kindness, letting it go out through the doors of your awareness. And like that you liberate yourself. Otherwise it will keep having its grip on you. Let's take a simple example. You were young and you maybe said something really not so nice to somebody, and you were bullying that person, not saying something nice, and after that maybe that person became really sad and you felt really bad about it. Okay, you grow older, you still don't feel so good about yourself. And you can fill in the blanks with more heavy examples, but we just keep it simple. And you start to feel this negative idea that you have about yourself, this feeling of just a negative imprint that you carry with you, and this determines always how you feel about others, how you trust others, how you feel about yourself, what you want for the best in life for yourself. So if you maybe sit for meditation, you close your eyes and you feel that negativity, and you feel a bit of discomfort, and you blame your itch on your neck that you cannot sit still, or your knee that hurts, or this hurts, or that hurts, but actually it is on a deeper level just a negative accumulation. And when you're able to feel that, like, I feel actually a deep shame within myself. I'm not judging myself about it, and I'm thinking how I should have done it or what I should be different, but just feeling that shame with kindness and understanding, well, okay, maybe I was just ignorant at that moment. Maybe I was just not seeing the pain it brings in other people, or maybe I still didn't develop kindness in myself. I forgive myself. May life forgive me also. And you start to just feel it, and like that you liberate yourself from it. And this goes with anger, with sadness, with all these negative accumulation that you might have built up. And like that you're able to let these negative accumulations come out. Now, all pains that you experience, all pain that you will experience in this life, is a way to transform negative impressions that you accumulated in your life, to bring it out. So next time, if you suffer from a certain pain, see it as a chance. Okay, now I'm feeling a certain pain, whether it's an emotional pain or a physical pain or any pain. I can use this moment to feel it, to accept it, and to liberate myself from negative accumulations, and to train my mind, but it's more almost on a soul level. You train your soul to be able to accept the suffering, to feel the suffering, and to let it go out, let it purify you. Okay? In many old cultures, suffering and pain was a way to purify, and we see this very much in the, of course, in the Buddhist culture, and in the Christian culture also. That when Jesus died on the cross, he took up all the pain. All the pain, he felt all the pain, but he accepted it completely. He accepted all the pain, even though he did do nothing wrong. He still could feel all the pain and accept it completely. Like that, it was purifying himself and, as it said, the world from pain. Now we see that in more different cultures as well. That becoming able to feel the pain, accept the pain, you purify, you liberate yourself from everything that is actually holding on to you. See it also a little bit like a lot of people go through life as a slave of their own feelings and emotions. And sometimes the slave master is like, okay, you're feeling good today, and you feel good, wonderful, I feel good, life is so great. But then all of a sudden a negative state comes in, and it starts to control you, and you start to feel like, I'm not feeling good about life, I'm not feeling good about myself, I'm feeling this negative emotion or that negative emotion, and you start to be controlled in the ways that you feel, in the ways that you choose, in the ways that you think about yourself. Your whole perspective in life is determined by that negative state. You can agree on that, right? That sometimes you have a positive outlook on yourself and life and everything, and when the state of emotion changes, all of a sudden your whole view on life changes as well. Now, how to become master again? Not the slave that is sometimes feeling like this, sometimes feeling like that, but how can you start to liberate yourself as a soul, as a spirit of light, to go through life as a liberated spirit, as a liberated soul? By coming face to face to these negative states that are normally controlling you, and you start to do something about it, you start to try to figure it out why you are in the pain, just to feel it and come face to face with it and say, no, I'm not gonna be controlled by this. I feel it, I accept the pain that I'm experiencing now, but I'm coming face to face with it and just look it in the eyes. And then all of a sudden it has no more control over you. Understanding that you are a spirit of light, a child of God, a child of Great Spirit of the universe, a pure light within. But sometimes this pure light is covered in the mud, in the dirt of all things that one might have accumulated in this life and other lives as well. Becoming able to recognize that the light cannot be affected by all this dirt. It can be covered by it, but understanding that you are the pure light within, and you start to become really aware of it, feel that, and understand like the pure light of life, the pure light of God, of creation, is already here. I am already dead. I don't have to be controlled by anything. I understand my strength, and then the darkness has no power. It's a long process, but it is in a way also a choice you will have to make, to say, I will end being a victim. I will accept the pain, the illness, the death that comes in this life. I accept that completely. It's the life experience I have now, that I've chosen. But I will not be controlled by the fear and the suffering it produces. I will liberate my spirit and become a child of the light. Okay. Wonderful. Now friends, let's take a little moment to do a bit of slow breathing and to feel this really, to experience this really, to implement that now. To say to ourselves like, okay, today is actually a full moon. It's a wonderful, wonderful time to create new stars, just like a new moon. It's a wonderful timing to make this day the first day of the rest of your life. And every day is the first day of the rest of your life, of course. But to say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna make a little bit of a change in the way that I see life, in the way that I see myself, in the way that I deal with my pain and my suffering. Okay, good. Take a couple of nice, calm, deep breaths, open up and roll a bit the shoulders. Open up the neck, maybe stretch a little bit if you want. Good. Now, from a sitting position, you can place the hands open on your knees. Relax a bit the jaw, relax the face. If you want, you open up a little bit, stretch out a bit your face, stretch out your lips, open everything up. Good. Take a couple of very calm, slow breaths. Feel yourself filling up with a bit of fresh air. Hold it for a little moment, and when you breathe out, it's like you expand it out. We're not gonna do any strong breathing techniques now. Recognize that the awareness is already there, friends. The pure life, the pure consciousness is already there. You're alive, right? You feel that. So good. Life is already happening. We're going to take 5 a bit deeper breaths, but nice and slow. We're going to breathe in for about 8 seconds. We breathe in. We hold for a little moment. You feel the expansion in the chest. You exhale for 8 seconds. Again, in. If you want, you apply Ujjayi breath. Hold. And slowly out, like a tire that is deflating. And like this, again for a couple more breaths. Do it more slow if you can, not breathing super deep, but just gentle, with full attention, feeling how you fill yourself up with fresh new oxygen, with fresh new life. And as you breathe out, you expand, you release. Now can you make the breath even more soft? Because you soften, you release a bit, you loosen up a bit the eyebrows, the lips, the jaw, the shoulders, the hands, the chest, the heart. It's like you open up for a little moment, you surrender for just a little moment, like it's okay. Life is already happening. I'm just sitting here breathing with life. And I accept completely whatever state of mind, whatever state of heart. I accept it with that kindness, that peace, that complete acceptance of the light, of the spirit, the love that is already within. And I notice the slow breath as it gently flows through my nose cavity, through my throat, towards the belly, the chest. And with each breath out, I'm letting go just a little bit more. With each breath out, I'm softening. You're letting your awareness kind of be absorbed in that ocean of peaceful consciousness, which in essence you are. And in this state of accepting however one feels, that kindness, in that state, a bit of the healing can happen. The healing, the energizing, the cultivation of goodness within. the light of life in every cell, in every layer of your being. This pure, great spirit, God consciousness, which resides in all of us. For just a couple of slow, calm breaths, make like a little mini smile. Like that mini smile softens the heart, softens the belly a little bit more. You recognize the kindness, the acceptance, the inner peace of this moment. Last moments just to finish off a bit this session. Like you breathe towards yourself this intention. May I live my life with this foundation of peace, with this foundation of kindness, of acceptance towards myself, towards others, towards my past, my future, towards every layer of my being. That my life may be filled with peace, love, and wisdom. And that this whole world may be filled with peace, and love, and wisdom. With the light of the good, kind side of this wonderful consciousness. Feel free to move a little bit your fingers, feel free to move a bit your shoulders, your head, and with that same awareness, keeping that relaxed awareness, we rub a little bit the hands together. You can place them either in front of the heart or in front of the forehead. And for 3 very calm, slow breaths. Again, like you breathe with that deeper self, with that higher self, into that body. May all be blessed, and all include yourself. May all be blessed with peace and love and wisdom. May we cultivate it within and shine it out. May all be blessed with peace, love, and wisdom, friends. Wonderful. Peace, love and wisdom, friends. Namaste. I hope you really can take a bit of time every day to connect with your true self. Sometimes we can get so lost in many things of this world and forget about the wonderful kingdom that is within, the spiritual kingdom that we all have within, and become able to tap into that source of light and joy and love and acceptance and kindness that we sometimes look for so much outside of ourselves, but recognize that it's already within, it's within all of us, and seeing that light in all other beings as well. Peace and love and wisdom, friends. All the best. And thank you, by the way, also very much for all your wonderful, kind words that you put here in the chat and in the comments. Very much appreciated. All these theories and everything, like I mentioned, are of course very nice theories, but hopefully you can start implementing them and start shining that light to others also, right? To cultivate all this wisdom also within yourself. Because wisdom is a matter of seeing things clearly in life, to get a bit of a higher perspective on it and seeing like, okay, that is how it works. So learn to elevate, to transcend with your perspective on light and cultivate this wisdom within yourself also, right? So that you can start shining a light and light. Thank you. All the best.